Hello everybody and happy Thanksgiving. You know, we've got a lot to be thankful for in this country. There's a lot of conflict going on, and there's a lot of people trying to promote a lot of negativity, but when you compare us to the rest of the world, we've got a lot of things to be thankful for. So take a moment today and think about it and be thankful for your family, your homes, your cars, your abilities to provide all of those, and this great country that we've got. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope everybody had a good one. You know, I'm glad you're not watching either the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Who watches that anymore anyway? And of course, there's always football, but I'm glad you tuned in. Just a few minutes to give you an update on what's going on in the shop, answer a couple of questions. And got a new tool. We'll show you that here in just a minute. Now let me just show you kind of where we are with some things. These are all the toys, wooden toys that I make. And I found out through some market research that if I paint them different colors, they sell better than just leaving them as just natural wood, which although I like natural wood, they seem to sell better if I color them. Now what I do is I paint the bodies, and the bodies are mainly 2x4, 2x6s, whatever it takes. But all the accent pieces, they're of some hardwood. They'll either be walnut, maple, cherry, whatever. Let me show you here. See this little dump truck, for instance. The body will be one of these colors back here: blue, red, pink, purple, whatever it might be. But the accent pieces, the actual dump truck, the dumping portion of it, and the wheels, the wheels will be a natural color, but the bed of the truck, that wheel raise and lower, that'll be either mahogany or walnut or some hardwood, as is also the case for this bulldozer. Again, the body will be one of those colors, but the little platform where the driver sits and the arms and the grading portion, that'll be some kind of a hardwood. And it kind of makes them look more expensive and makes it look like they're fancier than they really are. But they look nice and they sell. So that's still on the agenda, to cut out the accent pieces. I've got all the bodies painted, all the holes drilled, ready to accept the accent pieces, which now have to be cut on the scroll saw. I have completed these 3 pins here. The one on the right, the burl in black, there's a video out on how that blank was made. The one in the middle is a feather blank, of pheasant feathers. And the one on the left is carbon fiber. And all 3 of those are on the Junior Statesman 2 rhodium finish with black titanium accents. You can see the black titanium accents. Those are for a client, and I still have 2 more to make for him. And then one more feather blank to make for my upcoming craft show in December. And then back here you see it's another one of these same kits that I've got to cast some aluminum shavings for the same customer. That's Alumalite green dye right there. Waiting on my Alumalite to come in. Says it's out on delivery for today, but who knows when I'll get it, being almost Thanksgiving. These are the 3D LED boxes that I make. This back corner back here, that's the front level. This will be the second level, and all of these represent the 3rd level in a series of a box, and they'll be put inside of a pine box that's got dados cut in it. So the 3 layers are pretty well cut. I still have to make, and those will be cut on the scroll saw. I need to cut out these 2 little penguins, and then all of that has to be hand painted. I hand paint these things, and they're quite popular this time of year, and they're kind of nice. They're a real popular one. They sell at the craft shows, but my family is all after one as well. And in addition to that, I've got some bandsaw boxes in the works too. There's one out of walnut, and then there's several more. I just didn't have room to put them all on this table. Again, all these are for the craft shows. I was asked by one viewer in this Burl and Black pen video that came out earlier in the week. He asked me, he says, what bushings do you use? I want to turn between centers, but Craft Supply doesn't carry turn between center bushings. Well, I just use the regular bushings, and I just butt them up. You can see there, I'm going to zoom in, see if I can do it without getting out of focus. I just go between centers with them. Now, you can buy these 60-degree centering bits at Harbor Freight and drill this side of your bushing and put a 60-degree taper on them and make this fitted a little better. And actually, I've done that on a lot of my bushings. I haven't done it on this set yet. And if you don't, you can get a little mark right there. See, I've got a little mark from where these bushings. This one's not seated all the way, but it will mark your live center and your drive center if you don't taper these. Now, I think Penn State sells some turn between center bushings, but I don't care for them. I've tried them and I could never get them to tighten up, so I just eliminate one piece and use the same bushings. So maybe that'll help you. If you don't want to butt them right up against your live center and your drive center, get those 60-degree centering bits and modify your bushings a little bit. And here's my new toy. I got the Seyco J21 scroll saw. It's Seyco's design off of an Excalibur, very, very similar to Excalibur, but they've done some things to try to pick up where Excalibur may or may not have been as thoughtful as they wanted. If you notice, I really love this saw. It's a nice saw. If you noticed this blue rod, what I have done here, I've taken a page out of the Scroll NATO dust collection system, and I've modified something. Seyco also sells a dust collection system. Let me pull this saw out and I can show you. If you look on Seyco's website, they sell this dust collection system, and it has its own little shop vac, and it comes with its own little cyclone, and it comes with a little jar as well to collect your dust. You can see it under there, and it's actually pretty good. And it comes out of one side. It comes out of one side to a magnet supported vacuum hose that will attach to the bottom of your table. That's the way they designed it. However, I took a page out of the Scroll NATO thought process, and I said, you know what, I can put it underneath, but I can also come up here and I can go above the table as well. But it took some modification, and what I had to do, come off of the cyclone, and I had to find a way to Y it off. Well, that's an 1.5 inch fitting, so I just went to the big box store and I got an 1.5 inch three-way, if you will. I plugged the center one, and I let the left one come out and go to the underneath side, and I took the right one and I circled it back around to be on top. But it's too big, so I just kind of, this is makeshift. I got to refine this, and this is 3/4 inch PEX tubing, so I just makeshifted a fitting with my Coke bottle heat gun hack and pushed it down the side like the Scroll NATO does, and it comes right out here, and it does a great job. And this little vacuum cleaner is strong enough to handle both. As a matter of fact, if I just do one, sometimes that little bottle down there collapses. So now I have got new scroll saw with dust collection from underneath and on top. Very little hits the floor, hits my pants, and stays on the table. Once again, thanks for joining me on this Thanksgiving Day holiday. And again, I hope everybody has a great one. Spend time with the family. Spend time with the family. This coming week, not a lot of new stuff is happening in the shop this week. I've got commitments to some clients that need to be fulfilled. And this time of year we get into those. We have things that commitments we have to fulfill, and craft shows to get ready for, so it doesn't allow us to do some new stuff. But such is life, such is the time of the year. But we'll get into some new projects here in the near future. Again, I'm glad you took the time to join us. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next week.